One of the things we really love about Andromeda is the flybridge. We have excellent 360-degree visibility from the helm. Andromeda already had a really good isinglass enclosure when we bought her. As we thought more about offshore cruising and some of the longer ocean crossings on the loop, we began to wonder about visibility issues. When we get a lot of sea spray or condensation or fog built up on the isinglass, there was no real way to get the isinglass clean. There are no wipers. We looked at a few options, like installing wiper kits to our existing enclosure, for example. Then we happened to stumble upon AJR Marine Windows and their custom canvas insert. This window and wiper kit is designed to be installed in the existing isinglass. We are only installing the single center window as the port and starboard front isinglass are too curved to correctly install this kit. But we think that should we get caught in the rain or saltwater spray builds up on the window, this will at least get us the visibility we need to safely navigate our way to safer conditions. We felt it was a must-have. So we took some measurements and ordered our kit from AJR. Ordering was easy, they were very helpful, and within a few weeks our window kit was delivered. We are removing the 8 or 10 screws that hold the outer trim ring on the window insert so that we can lay it on top of the isinglass and trace out exactly what we need to cut. Now we need to remove the wiper kit so that the entire frame will lay flat on the isinglass as we trace it. Now we are taking the stripped down frame and laying it on top of the isinglass and carefully measuring each direction to get the window insert exactly centered in the isinglass. It's a little tricky with the curved edges of the isinglass, trying to find the exact center of a square window and sort of a curved, rounded opening for the isinglass. We're being very careful to get the measurements right and get it exactly centered. It is at this point we learned a little lesson about quote-unquote isinglass. Isinglass is a generic term used by boaters for most see-through enclosures. Thinner rolled clear vinyl is technically isinglass. As we struggled to cut what we thought was extremely thick isinglass, we learned that these are thicker polycarbonate windows, more than likely Strataglass. Strataglass is a brand name but gets used often to describe thicker, rigid, clear enclosure windows. And man, is it hard to cut. So we have the isinglass cut out all the way around. We have the window and then the window trim removed. The next step is going to be to insert the window, and then we have some butyl tape and some silicone that will go around the edge of the window before we mount the cover plate back on and essentially pinch the glass between the frame and the trim ring. have the butyl tape all the way out to the edge, and then up against the shoulder of the frame we've filled it with silicone supplied by the window manufacturer. It's a Tremosil 200 silicone sealant. And so the next step is we're going to lay the canvas panel on top of the window frame. It'll rest in here. The isinglass will mush into the sealant, and then we will screw the frame and the trim ring together and secure the canvas in between the two components. Okay, so we were able to lay the canvas on top of the window. We had to go along and make sure that there was a good seal between the butyl tape and the plastic. And the caulk is in there, and we're getting ready to set the trim ring on top and bolt it all back together. So we have reinstalled the wiper motor to the frame, and now we're going to flip the whole unit over and put the wiper arms back on, and then leave it alone and let it dry. Kathy is definitely the detail person, so she's trimming the excess butyl tape that mushed out, and that's a good sign that we have a good seal. So we're just going around with a sharp knife and trimming out the extra. We're heading back up to Manistee. This could be the last time we go up to work on the boat inside. It's April and the weather is breaking and sunshine is out, and we're getting unseasonably warm temps, so we think it's probably time to batten down the hatches and get the boat ready to put in the water. And we're going to try and get the windshield in today. Weather turned really nice really quick. We're starting to see boats in the marina, and could be any day now, and they'll put Andromeda back in the water. So hoping for a productive morning. And the good news is it's our first trip to Manistee, and the roads are not covered with ice and snow, so that's a good sign. So spring is here.
I had come up to the boat myself a few weeks ago and removed the center isinglass window. I put the port panels back in so they would not get damaged or misshaped while we worked on the center window at home. We are now sliding the 2 port panels back out to get the center panel back in. It is definitely a little tricky sliding the new, more rigid center panel around the outside corner.
Calling stage 1 a success. We got the window obviously mounted in the canvas, and Kathy and I were able to get the canvas in. We had to go all the way around the track and fight everything in, getting all the zippers to line up, but the good news is it's in, it fits, it looks good. We're happy with it. If you remember before, we pulled some wires to this point so we could hook up the washer later. But the issue we're having now, boat projects are just never done, but we have to mount some supports. We either have to mount them from the window down to here, or we have to come up with a way to mount something this way and something here. The window is held into place with the zippers and in the track and snapped at the bottom, but we want to keep the weight of the window from resting on the isinglass. So we're going to have to go shop for some fittings, cut some pieces of metal to length. These are the support rods that the window company sent us, but they're a little flimsy and we think we can do better. You can see they're just kind of thin. They're very light aluminum. And the fasteners are plastic and don't have any way to lock in place. Once we get the resistance on the window and hold it where we want, there's nothing holding these fasteners from moving around. Plus, I don't like that they're plastic and can snap. So step 1, windows in, we're happy with it. Phase 2 is now finding some proper mounting hardware, and hopefully we can check this one off the list sooner than later. Just getting ready to head home for the day, making sure every last little detail is battened down and all the boxes and tools are stowed, because we just got word from the marina that they are going to start putting the boats in the water, and that our boat will be going in sometime next week. So we'll make the drive up here and get Andromeda situated and drive her back to home port and tie her up for the summer and start enjoying a little bit of northern Michigan summer. We didn't get all of our winter project list done, but we made quite a lot of headway this winter, and man, we had a nice time coming up here, working with the guys at Sings and getting to know everybody. And so a little bittersweet. Of course, we want to put the boat in the water, and we may not be back here next winter. So kind of our last day at the marina, and we're taking it all in. It's so hard to see in the low light, but Kathy did such a great job of painting, and we have the new zincs all over the bottom of the boat. It just looks brand new. It really looks good. Sort of a detail that doesn't get to be enjoyed because it's going to be all underwater, but we know how good everything looks, and we're pretty proud to have done it ourselves.